I'm glad that you have something random to talk about today, because I had nothing. And if neither of us had something to talk about for these first random 5 minutes, I was going to start a vicious rumour that CR was a closet brony.
What do you mean rumour? I mean...
Well, I know it's true, but I thought start it as a rumour first and then see where it goes. So you have a story?
Yeah, not about bronies, though.
Good, because they're...
It's just as bad, though.
I know, I mean, CR keeps on going on about it, and I just don't want to hear it.
One of our many trips to the supermarket, another one of these conversations.
Oh, no.
We were in supermarket, and the Naked Rambler was in.
What?
You heard me.
What's a naked... Well, okay, a Naked Rambler...
Not the Naked Rambler.
It's a celebrity.
The genuine article, yeah, he's a local celebrity.
It's a very special kind of title for a nudist who just walks around. I assume that's what it is?
Pretty much. I think he's trying to do this like walk from one end of Britain to the other, naked, and he keeps getting arrested because he's naked, obviously.
Gee, I wonder why.
But he was in Sainsbury's naked with a big rucksack and a massive beard.
Rucksack? It's an interesting accidental Freudian slip you had there.
What?
You said rucksack instead of rucksack?
No.
Oh, yes.
No.
Yeah. So this naked... So has he got a TV show connected to it, or is he just doing it for...
I don't know. He should do, but then I guess he'd probably get arrested for being naked on TV.
Oh, and if he did it through South America, he'd be raped like every 10 metres. Ugh. That was paraphrasing of a Father Ted joke, by the way.
It would be like a poor man's version of that, like Naked Jungle program. That was it. Keith Chegwin that did that.
Oh, yeah, that... If you ask him for his autograph, how does he sign?
What do you mean? He's still got hands.
I know, but I thought, if he might have a special way of signing.
You mean like
a
special way of like shaking hands as well?
I mean, But it just... Well, if there's kids around, that's not fair on the kids.
It just got me wondering, like, why would you want to do that? We have clothes for a reason, because it's cold, and you don't really want to be like cooking in the nude or anything in case you drop your cock on the stove or something.
Well, we've been conditioned to believe that the naked body is the most disgusting thing in the world.
But I beg to differ. I quite like looking at like naked things. So
okay, but do you think a kid wants to see a naked old guy shopping in a supermarket?
I don't want to see a naked old guy in the supermarket, let alone a kid.
Yeah, exactly. If he goes to England and starts doing that, he'll get classified as a paedophile and beaten to death in the streets of Essex or Birmingham.
Just those two places, nowhere else. Everybody else says, no, it's fine, be naked, come, sit down, have a drink. Except for Essex and Birmingham.
For those very specific conditions. And maybe Manchester.
Have you been to any of these places? No.
No, I wouldn't want to. Hello and welcome to the 26th... Fuck.
Oh, I'm so keeping that in.
No, you're not. I forbid it.
Right, okay. Go again.
Oh, okay. Shall I miss out the number in case I can't say 26th again?
You can try.
I can try. This is the 26th, Brain Go Hurty. Hello.
You still fucked it up.
I did not.
It's like your tongue.
Says the person who can't pronounce rucksack.
Yeah, fuck you.
Well, like he who cast the first stone, etc.
Yeah. Keep going.
So that's the intro we're going with. Not doing a third one.
Brain Go Hurty Gaming Podcast number 26. There you go.
Exactly, 26.
with added naked man this time round.
Yes, naked. Anyway, we're here to talk about gaming, and we're going to get straight into our first topic because we don't want this to go on as long as it did last time.
No.
Ages last time. So we're going to start with what we've been playing. What have you been playing? Because it is your turn.
Is it my turn? Right. Okay. Well, yeah. What have I been playing? Well, we've been doing Age of Empires Online. Still enjoying that.
You're just brushing over it, are you?
Well, what else is there to say?
I heard a rumor about it actually that later this summer it's going proper freemium rather than the model it's using right now.
What do you mean by that?
Everything uses Empire points, so you can still gain Empire points by playing, but if you want things faster...
You can buy them.
Yes. That's what I've heard, just as a rumour. Don't know if it's really going to happen.
You probably still have to pay for additional civs, though.
If it does happen, we've kind of screwed ourselves in our...
No, because I think in order to get like the achievements and stuff, you probably still need to pay for the civs. I reckon
it does say with premium content, I suppose.
Yeah.
And I am still enjoying it, yes.
It's fun.
We've been playing it a lot because we're trying to get it out of the way before Diablo.
It's not going to happen.
No, we're just trying to get spent on it for a while, so then we can go back to like months from now and enjoy it all over again. I think.
Yeah. We've not actually mentioned that, but I think that's kind of what we're both decided silently.
Yeah, I want to talk about the Diablo 3 beta that we tried, but we'll do that after this bit.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, we can do it now. Diablo 3 beta. That's something else that we played.
Right, because we've already given away that we are both looking forward to it, so I assume that means we both liked what little we played of it during the open beta weekend.
Originally, when I first picked it up, I wasn't convinced. I don't know what it was. I don't think it was because... I mean, it is basically like Diablo 2 with better graphics. And,
yes.
Some new classes and some new skills, etc., etc. But that's what makes it good. There's been a big enough expanse between then and now that you can enjoy that.
15 years, something like that. Ridiculous. Really? Well, I'm exaggerating slightly, but it's been... I mean, I remember us playing the second one on the LAN, so that's at least 10 years, at least.
Yeah, probably.
And it'd been out a while before we played it.
Oh, yeah. But, yeah, it's shaping up to be quite good, I reckon. Quite fun.
I am looking forward to it, and I think we'll both probably end up doing videos of it for those who follow it. I won't be doing a full playthrough, though. I don't have the time to edit that much footage, but I'll do highlights, I think.
I could probably get away with doing a full one. It's just the editing takes time.
You made that same mistake with Skyrim, and you're going
Yes, yeah, I'm not going to shoot myself in the foot again. That was painful.
Yes.
Or in the knee.
So you didn't try all the classes, did you? You only tried 2.
I didn't get around to it, no.
You tried Barbarian and Demon Hunter, and you didn't really like Demon Hunter that much?
Not really, no. I'm thinking, like, I'd probably be Witch Doctor.
I hated Witch Doctor, honestly. I think it's a horrible stereotype. But that's just me.
Ooga booga!
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, and Barbarian being a semi-naked man with a big sword or whatever isn't stereotypical.
Okay, there's stereotypes that are harmful, and there's stereotypes that are neutral. I would say the Barbarian is a neutral stereotype because there's no Vikings getting pissed about him.
Whereas implying that everybody in Scotland is a cheapskate and drinks lots of alcohol is perfectly acceptable, is it?
No. Because we're not all like that. It's just about 94% of us.
That's a very specific figure.
Well, I'm just...
You're just seeing things as fact. That's what we do.
I am seeing things as fact without doing proper research, but yeah, some stereotypes are also true.
So on a back to Diablo 3, they're putting in... There was a problem before with like Diablo with people buying and selling things for real money, and it was always frowned upon, and Blizzard considered it to be, against the rules and regulations, etc. But this time around, they're actually putting an auction house into it.
Yes, and the always-on proviso that we spoke about last time to stop duping.
Yeah.
Which is the reason why we ran into so many problems during the beta weekend, because European servers weren't up, so we had to go on the American ones. And so many people hammered them, it was almost impossible to get on and stay on.
Yeah, so if you wanted to play, even if you were just playing solo, it was a bitch.
Even if you were playing alone, you still have to technically be online.
Now, this is going really on a side tangent, but that got me thinking about these next-gen consoles where they're talking about perhaps being always on in order to prevent, piracy and stuff. So you're thinking, well, if this is happening with something like Diablo 3, and Blizzard have got a lot of money, and they could afford to put up decent servers even for the beta.
True.
I wonder whether or not it's proof that, Sony and Microsoft probably won't do an always-on system for piracy.
I certainly hope they don't, because always on is flawed, because there are, like DRM now, which hackers get around. Hackers will always find a way. The only people you hurt with that kind of thing is...
the non-hackers. Yeah.
Yes. It's like legitimate DVDs having that warning about piracy at the start of them. I mean, yeah, if you do buy a pirate DVD, I hear your phone ringing, don't you dare answer it. If you buy a pirate DVD, chances are those adverts have been removed.
Yeah, that's a good point. Oh, no, they'll probably... No, pirates would be far too fucking lazy for that.
Okay, but my point is, why are you talking about the dangers of piracy to someone who's just bought a legitimate DVD? That really gets on my nerves.
That's a very good point. But they changed it. They
Yeah.
changed that, like, I don't say recently. I don't know when the last time I bought a DVD was, but they changed it because it's now, thank you for supporting, blah,
Oh, right. Is that what they've changed it to? You see, that just shows I haven't watched any new DVDs, really.
It's no longer like, you wouldn't steal a handbag. Yes, I fucking would. You wouldn't steal a car. Yeah, I pretty fucking would.
Yeah.
It's now like, thanks very much for supporting these people. You're helping to maintain the industry, blah, 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 blah.
Well, in that case, I don't mind that so much, although I would imagine that gets quite annoying hearing the same thing, thanking you every time.
It annoys the fuck out of me when you can't just, like, skip things at the start of DVDs. Video players, you could just fast forward. Sure, it wasn't particularly quick, but you could always fast forward. There's nothing that stopped you from doing that. These DVDs thing, you cannot perform this operation at this time. You're like, why the fuck not? Because you want me to watch this advert. I hate you.
Would you want a toilet that thanked you every time you remembered to put the toilet seat down?
Oh, thank you.
Why did it have to be an Asian one?
I don't know. I think it's because I always...
Because of that Simpsons episode that did have a talking Asian toilet in it when they went to Japan?
So. And I think they're quite fond of those ones that shoot water up your arse, aren't they?
I said one that talks, not one that fires upon you.
No, but take that. no, but they do. I'm pretty certain that they do have. They do like was it bidets or whatever? But
foot
like
ones. Well, the foot toilets.
Foot toilet. Oh right, everyone uses them to wash their feet as opposed to cleaning their arse. Yeah.
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 We were talking about Diablo 3 and we got on to butt toilets.
Yeah, so you can use real money on these auction houses and Blizzard will take a cut of the sales. But reading it a little bit more in depth into it, obviously you can find rare items and sell them for real money, right? But Blizzard will take a cut of that and the money will be put into... You can have it... Like, you can't have it go back to like a bank account or as a check or anything like that. You can have it go to PayPal, but then there's another further sort of cut that goes from that. So it's like 27% or something like that of any profit will be lost before you even get hold of it in real money. So
you're still getting money for nothing.
Oh yeah, that's
for nothing that really exists.
Not that either one of us is doing anything like that right now.
Moving on. What else are you playing?
I did play a little bit of Skyrim, but nothing really to note. I've been a bit sort of busy.
Yes, we're all busy.
I don't think we didn't really do any Saints Row since the last time, did we?
Nope, not even after I offered a couple of times because you were too lazy.
No, too lazy. Maybe this weekend. Maybe I've got a 3-day weekend, so.
Ooh, fancy.
I don't think there's anything else, but there's bound to be because you'll go, oh no, there's something else. You're always trying to remind me.
That we've both been playing. No, I don't. Oh yes, there is. God, how have you forgotten?
I forget.
It took me a little while to remember as well, but
I forget things quite easily.
A certain game on Steam.
Well, not Steam.
Oh, you didn't play it on Steam, but I did. Okay.
I picked it up for the Xbox. The Walking Dead, the first chapter.
The first episode.
First chapter.
It's episodes. It's like a TV show.
Fuck you, buddy. It's a
yeah.
Anyway, I liked it. I haven't seen the TV show, but I liked it.
I hadn't seen the TV show when I played through the first episode of the game, but I have now watched. I finished watching the first season this morning, actually.
Bit random.
Well, I started watching it last night and I liked it so much I watched the rest first thing this morning. So I think that goes to show it's a very good program.
Well, I shall be stealing that then.
Okay, maybe. So, talking about the game more so than the movie. I mean, the TV show. The movie. It plays like a mixture between a point and click and Heavy Rain, I would say. Would you agree with that?
Yeah. It reminded me of the Broken Sword game that came out on the Xbox. Sleeping Dragon, I think it was.
Oh, that one, yes, yeah.
Reminded me a little bit of that. But in a good way,
Yeah, I liked it. I liked the basics of it, although I think some people might not enjoy it. The ones that, FPS crowd. Not saying there's anything wrong with liking FPSs, but...
You've got to broaden your horizons. You've got to enjoy a little bit of everything.
Yeah, I like a few genres of games. It's just some people don't.
There's one that I don't really ever get into, and that's beat 'em ups. Or if you're American, brawlers. Is that right?
Yeah, they do it the opposite way.
Yeah.
And actually think they're right.
Herb.
Mm.
So yeah, I quite enjoyed it, and the big thing that I'm quite liking about it, aside from like the content of the game and stuff, is the way that they're actually like releasing it. I quite like the fact that you can buy once a month, buy each chapter as it comes out like that in like small little doses.
That's on consoles only, though. On PC, you have to buy the full set.
I'm aware of that, but I like that. I think that's quite cool.
The people listening might not be. I was informing them.
Well, yeah, okay. So Xbox is it available on the PlayStation? I think
Yeah.
Definitely on the Xbox. Anyway, you can buy just like the one chapter for a couple of hundred Microsoft points, which is nothing really. But then the next month you can buy it for another couple of hundred Microsoft points, and it makes it easier for you to mix and match on things that you were buying. Let's say there was a lot of things that you were wanting to buy all at once, and you could buy like little installments of them.
I would imagine anyone who's into it though will just bulk buy.
Yeah, but it reminded me of like back in the days of like shareware and things, where like technically you got that sort of free demo that we still get demos now, but what if you wanted like extended demo rather than like
it's a good way to try a part of a game. It's like the 60-minute trials of games that PlayStation offers to PlayStation Plus members.
Exactly.
Rather than just a 10-minute demo.
So I thought that was quite an interesting way of going about it. Maybe they figured that more people would maybe pick it up and get into it if they bought the first chapter. Who knows? But I liked it.
I do question in the long run how big a difference any decision you make will affect the story really. And I don't like if they try and push that too much, like, oh, you really can affect the story. Yeah, you might change who's there with you in the long run, but the finale will still be the same regardless, I assume.
Yeah, but it would take far too much effort and far too much time and money to make like endless possibilities of endings and scenarios and stuff.
I don't mind that it's not like that. I just mind when it's marketed as that.
Oh right, this is going back to you. Better not fucking mention Mass Effect 3.
I mentioned nothing of the sort. I just implied it exceptionally heavily.
You were thinking it very loudly.
I wanted to bring up one specific example, the very first big choice you have to make in the first episode. So I do want to say what it is, but I'll be vague, and keep in mind it's only one of, I think, 5, 6 big choices, because the big choices are the ones that tells you once you've finished it, whatever played it.
Warning here that this is makes slightly spoilerific. Not
I am
really,
going to be vague. You choose between saving a young person or an old person.
Yes.
That's as vague as I'll be about the situation. Now, I think there's not really a choice there, because the game doesn't have the balls to kill a young person. So, but I didn't think about that when I was doing it. So I chose the young person because I thought I'm not letting them.
I didn't do that. I went the opposite way.
Okay,
and it's interesting.
You know the other outcome then. So I want to see if I get it right, because I've not played it through again yet.
All right, okay.
It's the other option, if you choose to save the older person, that the younger person still survives.
Yes.
That's what I thought. And I think other people other than me guessed that, and that's why when I
to know the serious irony on that part. This is really seriously spoilerific. But then, if you do choose to save the older one, he still dies.
See, that takes away. I drifted in and out of when you were playing it because I was semi-AFK making that machine thing I got. I'm not getting into that. It's a random side story. But the point is,
you were making a machine, a contraption.
I wasn't making a machine. I was making the machine.
The machine.
It'll bring mankind to its knees. So I was just
horrible images of what possible.
I thought I heard you talking to me, so I'd come back to my mic, which was still in, and I'd listen. And it was actually, you must have been talking to Vicky, I guess, while you were playing.
We were sort of doing a co-op playthrough.
Right. Did she enjoy it as well?
Yeah, she did. She thinks she wants me to continue buying the rest of them and wants me to steal the DVDs from you. So,
well, yeah. So my point being, the bits I heard you playing through, you did, on by and large, pick different things from me, but the differences were very minimal.
I would imagine that's probably the case.
It doesn't detract from the enjoyment of playing it through, though, and feeling like you're changing things.
One of the things that, like without going into any real spoilers again, but the way that I was making my choices was I was making very cold, calculated decisions. And I was going at it in a case of I'm put in a position where I can only save 1 or 2 people, right? Not knowing what the outcome of either is going to be really, but I would go, well, who is going to be able to be the most productive and the most helpful in the long run do I save the person that's brilliant at this, or the person that's brilliant at that, or somebody that's a complete retard or whatever? And
Would you save a wheelchair-bound person or a person who could run?
Exactly.
If you're being cold and callous about it, rather than
that's how I went about it, and that was my logic all the way through. It was who I thought could be the most helpful.
Oh dear, you cold calculating bastard!
But that's getting into the spirit of like The Walking Dead. It's about it's about people after. It's not about the zombies. It was more about how people react and their emotions and their interpretations of how they should survive.
Yes, and that comes across very well in the TV show. Like it does a good job of showing different people coping differently.
Yeah, coping mechanisms, and that was mine. I would definitely go with that mentality. I reckon. Well, I mean, obviously, like it's difficult to put yourself into that picture. It's like, right, somebody release a fucking virus so we can get some zombies and test the theory. But I would go with the people that could be the most help.
Do you want a mini TV series review? I only had one complaint with it.
What's that?
One very slight.
Not enough zombies?
No, that's fine. And actually, I applaud it for being brave enough to do something the game wasn't, which was showing zombified children. I don't think I've seen only a movie has done that, in fact. Not just zombified children, but zombified children getting done in.
I'm pretty certain that happened in one of the
remakes of the Dawn of the Dead films.
The first one, the Dawn of the Dead.
It's on TV rather than in a movie, and you don't really get that much. My complaint was there are moments where there are out-of-character acts of stupidity or absent-mindedness that are purely there so that things happen.
For plot progression.
It's not Deus Ex Machina in the case of things happening in a positive way or convenience. It's the opposite. It's happening so that bad things happen to make the plot move.
It's actually that brings me on to something I was thinking about, where the character you play as in the game.
All right, yeah.
Really, really awful habit of falling over all the time. It's like there's a bit where I slipped in a pool of fucking blood, right? And I thought, yeah, that's quite clever. That's quite funny. I didn't really think that would happen, right? And as he turns to move away, he slips in the same fucking pool of blood, and I was just like, oh, you idiot! That had nothing to do with me. It's not like I was holding a sprint button down or anything.
At least one of those times must have been, because I think I know the scene you mean, and that only happened to me once.
Well, there isn't a sprint button, is there?
Oh no, but I mean in the sense of I only fell in blood once.
Oh, right.
More than once to you. One of them was, at least one time, was your own doing.
I nothing.
Yeah, well, there you go. That is a perfect example of sort of like something has to befall a character, and you might think the person you're playing as doesn't seem like the clumsy sort, so why would he be so stupid?
Yes, exactly.
That happens in the TV show as well. I think that's a hangover from being based on a comic, because that's the kind of thing that happens in those.
It's that's their plot progression, like in such a finite point, like your Deus Ex Machina. That's a different slant on using that to move your graphic novel along. Yeah,
it's not plot convenience; it's plot inconvenience on purpose.
So funsies,
yes. So I still recommend it, though. I still very, very, very recommend it. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and apparently it does differ quite a bit from the comics, but I don't think that's a problem because it needs to. So what else have we been playing then? Oh, is that your list?
I think that's it. I really do think that's it.
You very, very, very briefly tried Infinity Blade 2 while you were visiting here.
But by trying, you mean
Well, it was a chance for you to see Retina graphics and a decent graphic game on the phone.
What do you mean Retina graphics? My phone does the same thing.
Then why isn't the game on that?
Because my phone is not iOS, it's Android.
Exactly.
And it's iOS only.
You saying that Chair doesn't like Android?
It could be any number of reasons why, but it's not. Yeah, it's not to do with that. It's just some things do and don't get released on either format.
But the point being, it's quite an interesting concept, isn't it? Sword fighting with your finger.
It's weird. I can imagine it being a lot more fun and a lot easier on an iPad than on an iPhone.
Yes, although it is doable on the phone. I played it on the phone for long enough. I played the first one on the phone only.
But in playing that for that short space of time, I was sitting there thinking, this, like, with enough power behind it, this thing could actually work as a, as a console properly, like a controller plug-in thing into it.
Well, if you're going by the iPad specifically, put that up against the Wii U and which one looks better.
We don't know that. We don't know that.
No. E3 we will find out for sure.
At the very bottom of my notes, E3.
Oh, well, we'll get back to that. Interesting thing about Infinity Blade, though, on the phone there's a problem that because the block button and dodge buttons are so small, you can accidentally miss them sometimes. The problem on the iPad is the space between them is so large, you might reach and miss.
Is that was the thing I found, is that it just seems like it's too big. You can't like hold it and play it because you need both hands.
Well, yeah, you can sort of use your thumb for the right dodge, but I just find I can only dodge left or block. I just ignore the right hand side of the screen.
Go left!
Exactly. As
opposed to going right.
I get that it works, but I find it counterintuitive that to dodge an attack, you dodge towards it rather than away. It makes sense because you're ducking under, but it doesn't feel natural. Does that make sense? No.
Yes, you're thinking that you want to move away from the danger.
Yeah, like you're dodging rather than dodging in. I think that's about the only other thing that I have been playing.
Sky?
Yes, I did the DLC, the recent of that. Finished Kid Icarus. Have we done a bit of Raccoon City? Oh, did we talk about the DLC last time? I don't think we did. I don't think we covered it. Did we?
We did. We said it was good. We said we found it to be better than the original campaign, etc.
Oh, okay. That might have just been the very first free mission, but...
Yeah, well, we continued on with the rest of it, and videos are up on both YouTube channels, Flick, FFXI, and Blighty Warrior.
Yeah.
And we don't really need to talk an awful lot about the DLC, because the videos are self-explanatory, really. But it's good, but it's annoying that that was held back out of the game. I think, as we've probably...
Oh, yeah, I remember mentioning that.
It probably would have had a better review if you'd had both campaigns fully on the disc.
Yeah, by and large from everyone else, yeah.
Exactly.
I would say so. So now we can move on to some other random potluck topic.
How about something very sort of recent? We've been talking about for like on and off for ages, even since back in the days of playing Morrowind, that how good would it be to play these things co-op or multiplayer or MMO style? And they're doing it.
They're doing it, but not in a way I find appealing.
How do you know how they're doing it?
Because they're making an MMO.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
I wanted a co-op.
You just wanted a co-op experience?
I didn't want a multiplayer one, because a multiplayer one is like every other multiplayer RPG.
So you think that the immersion would be spoiled rather than having me, bandering about, smashing bears in the face, that... You're going to walk around the corner and see two kids completely naked teabagging, a dragon or
dead bear, and then like 6 other folk will run past you for the same bear because they want whatever fetch quest you're all on. It won't have the same depth. I kind of wish they'd stuck with or bought the rights to the Fallout MMO. I think a Fallout MMO would work better than a Elder Scrolls one.
Well,
without the VAT system, it wouldn't have that.
I'm still hopeful because I think it'll be fun, and you can kind of block out the rest of the world. I mean, the last sort of
MMO, like in Old Republic,
the last sort of MMO outings that we've had, we've basically just played it as if it was co-op.
Pretty much. Did you watch the trailer for the Elder Scrolls Online?
By trailer, you mean a bit of black with someone talking over it?
Aha! I didn't actually watch it. I was curious if you did. I was going to guess that it was nothing but CG. So it wasn't even that, it was just a black screen. Yeah,
you did some sort of stills in the background, but not of game footage. Just hard to explain, but not really. There's nothing there, nothing showing you like the world, nothing showing you the animals, the people, nothing at all. Just, I think it sounded like Michael Gambon doing the voiceover. We went through this earlier today. The guy that plays Dumbledore in the later sort of Harry Potter films.
I haven't watched any Harry Potter film. Just some old guy then, I assume.
Yeah, sounds very similar and looks relatively similar to Ian McKellen in
Oh, right, okay. Just, he's a B version, a cheaper version.
The cheaper version.
McKellen Light. There's also a Skyrim expansion.
Oh, yes, I forgot to mention that, yeah.
Do you remember what it's called?
Dragons say hi to ponies.
No, that's Sierra's favourite fic that he wrote. It's called Dawnguard. It's an exclusive to the 360, first of all.
Really?
Yeah. I'm not sure how long
it's a month, isn't it? They're supposed.
Yeah, it's an exclusivity period of some length, which is a very stupid thing. I mean, do it for PC first. Do it where your biggest audience is.
Exactly. I'm liking the sound of that, like crossbows. There's something about crossbows over regular bows that appeals to me.
Crossbows and snow elves were the two lead things.
You can take or leave the snow elves, but the crossbows, I like that.
And the title picture is Dovahkiin with glowing eyes for some reason.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, Dragonborn SS2.
Oh god,
it's horrible when I have quite a few notes for a podcast because we get to these points where I notice I had something I should have or could have fitted in a lot earlier, and I've noticed that I wrote down a game that I played that I forgot to talk about, a thing about Infinity Blade that I forgot to talk about, and something else. Oh, something else about The Walking Dead.
You, sir, are an imbecile.
I know that you don't like editing, so I say we just throw them in here and screw it.
Right, so thanks to your ineptitude, here are a bunch of things that you should have talked about earlier on.
Yeah. The Walking Dead game was banned in Australia.
Oh, yeah, I've heard about that.
And yet it wasn't in your notes and you didn't bring it up either.
Well, but I didn't consider it to be that, big a thing.
Well, are you aware of why pretty much a lot of games get banned over there?
Apparently, it's most to do with like blood and stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, it's because
Funny about it.
they don't publish or allow the publishing of any game which is given an 18 rating. Because they don't have the equivalent of an 18 rating, they have a 16. So anything more adult than a 16 isn't released.
You would think, like, by now that people would have caught up with these things.
Yeah, there's sort of people are trying to get rid of it.
For a country of, like, criminals and backward folk.
How did I know that you were going to do that?
You'd think that they'd be all for it. I don't know.
Yes, you don't. There you go. And the thing about Infinity Blade 2 was the Clash Mobs thing, which I've been meaning to talk about for about two podcasts now.
This is where people have to deal like damage to this one boss that's got billions of health, and
it tracks the stats of every single person doing it, and you get rewarded if everybody playing manages to do it. It's not always just kill something with loads of HP. It's do the most parries, and it's like 700,000 parries, that kind of thing. So it's not the first thing to have done it, but I like the way they've implemented it.
Something sort of new to do on a sort of regular-ish basis, I suppose.
Yeah, it keeps people coming back, and the idea is if you hear it on Twitter or Facebook, your mob increases and it gives you slight bonuses like more time or more damage.
All right.
So they're doing it as a marketing thing. But it's an enjoyable one.
Clever marketing.
On the subject of clever marketing, the game I wanted to talk about was called Assassin's Creed Recollections, which you won't have heard of, unless you want to prove me wrong.
No, it's not a Facebook game or anything, is it?
No, it's an iPad exclusive tactical strategy card game.
Oh, no, I have. I did read about that on a website that I'm not going to mention, but yeah. Yeah, I did read about that a while back, yeah.
I decided to get it because it is actually free, so I gave it a go, and I'm not going to bother trying to explain the rules because it'll take far too long for how little I want to talk about it. I did enjoy the game itself, but it had one fundamental flaw, and that is it's a prime example of the pay-to-win model rather than the free-to-play. Because you level up through doing the story mode, and you get money, which you buy booster packs of cards for to improve your deck. You get to about 5 levels into the single player, and the deck you've got, even if you've bought one booster pack, which is all you could afford by then, you get steamrolled. The only way to get any further would be to buy packs, because you can't go back to previous stages and replay them for more XP and money.
So you're stuck.
So you get in an unwinnable situation where the only way out is to buy. And at that point, I deleted the app and 1-star reviewed it and warned other people. And I wasn't the only one doing that.
Big filthy hacks.
Yeah. So good game, implemented in a horrible manner. Don't touch it, or just go review it. Bad. So they never do it again.
The better model would have been like rather than like giving it for free, like make it cheap.
Yeah, I mean, especially in the App Store, just get 69 pence for it, or do special stages, packs of stages. I don't know. I mean, there's plenty of ways to make it work without crippling anyone who doesn't want to pay.
It's all about the money.
It is, and people apparently 69 pence isn't enough. So that was my 3 random things that I really wanted to fit in earlier, and I totally forgot. Hopefully it won't happen again.
Better not had. Or I'll bust your lip with my bowling ball.
Damn it! I just noticed another thing.
Too slow.
It's about Skyrim.
Too slow.
Come on.
Right, okay, it's Christmas.
It's a smart point you made, so you should want me to bring this up.
All right, okay.
About the Kinect support for Skyrim that got added to the 360.
Yeah.
What was your clever observation about that?
Well, the whole Kinect support thing is not that you're moving around to do anything. It's the voice recognition thing, right?
Yes.
But why would you need Kinect for something like that when you've already got a 360 headset with mic and so on that it should be able to? And the same with, like, you know, if you were playing on the PC, you could sit there with the headset on and shout Fuzurda whenever you wanted. But
yeah. Exactly. It's a fun. It's like it's looking behind the curtain in the Wizard of Oz. Anytime Microsoft
just got his cock out, just going hello.
In the Microsoft version does, yeah. It's like you want to push this sort of motion control, but really any game like Mass Effect 3, or I'm trying to think of another example that has had Kinect support sandwiched into it. Oh, Ghost Recon. Well,
is that not like the Kinect's more for like just viewing guns and adding like changing barrels and things like that?
When you're actually playing the game where you can give orders. So it is always implementations that could have been done with just a normal mic plugged into your controller. Unless there's an extra bit of kit inside the Kinect that, you know, has voice recognition. But
maybe it is to do with that, with the actual recognition of that
via software on the console.
Well, people have been doing that on PCs for forever.
Yeah, so it's made Kinect seem even more worthless now that you've made me notice that.
Oh, I'm so pleased.
Yeah.
There are so many things that they could do really well with something like Kinect, but one of the fundamental problems is that hardcore gaming tends to be that you don't move, that you sit still, and you have your...
When you come from a day of work or school, the last thing you want to do is jump around like a moron in front of your television waving your arms. I can't believe Focus pointed that out to them.
That's very true. You come home, you want to sit down, have something alcoholic to drink, and shoot shit at something. Without,
if you're a young teenager in Scotland, that's right. You come home, have a hard drink.
You get in from school, put the kids to bed.
Oh,
low. Bit low?
No, accurate.
Mm. So, yeah, okay, so Kinect is a bit meh. I mean, I've looked at it, and I'd consider getting it for a laugh, but it's a bit...
Actually, it's funny you should mention that, because I was considering maybe if I did end up buying Dragonball Kinect, I could film you trying to play it.
That's brilliant. Get it.
No, just maybe.
Get it, because you've got the... Yeah, you've got the
I have access to a Kinect. I don't own one.
Get it, and then I'll come round and I'll like tan like a bottle of vodka or something and try and kick Frieza's ass. It'd be funny.
I think it would be very funny, but there you go. That's a little idea I had.
There's an option out there. If you think that's a good idea, let us know.
Yeah, or if you think it's a bad idea, let us know.
Or if you've got any better ideas, let us know.
You know, speaking of horrible things involving Microsoft, on the American Xbox Live, it now has IGN on it. Only for the American version, though, not ours.
You do know that for a very long time, I suppose, you never really paid much attention to some of the other things that were on, like the Xbox dashboard. Like,
I can't help but see them there because they're thrown in your face with adverts.
And things like they sent you a message, you know, that sort of stuff, these little sort of clip shows and things. But there's always been like an IGN-sponsored sort of, not tips and tricks as such, but almost like handy hints, I suppose, at games that have recently come.
Yeah, but I mean specifically now it's their reviews and their stories.
Yeah,
you can pretty much guess that any Microsoft game that IGN reviews will now never get a bad score.
As if that ever occurred in the past.
Can you imagine that if Microsoft makes and publishes the new Halo and it turns out to be terrible, everyone hates it, but then IGN thinks, this is pretty bad, let's give it a 2, and then it appears on Xbox Live. Really? Do you think that's going to happen?
Of course not.
Exactly. It'll get 10.
You never know. It might be a 10 out of 10 game.
Well, it might be, I know, but yeah.
It won't be.
As long as they don't follow Bungie's example for 2 and 3, they have a chance.
So talking about like following examples and the borrowing ideas from other people, the whole like thing we talked about last time with Kickstarters and so on.
Oh, I have a feeling I might know where you're going with this.
You know that like Kickstarters are being used for like hardware as well now.
Oh, okay. I had no idea where you were going with this. I didn't know that.
See, people are like saying like, I've got this idea that I want to make this. It's like Dragon's Den.
Oh,
I've decided that I want to make this.
In my article I wrote about Kickstarters, I found a picture of someone who started a Kickstarter to make a new Death Star and wanted 800 billion to do it.
That's genius. How far? Do you know how far they are?
Oh, I can't remember now. I'd need to check, but he had a few million donated.
That's pretty funny because he's never going to hit it. So people
exactly. So it's just a bit of fun.
But yeah, people are doing it for like hardware, which is quite interesting in a way.
Did you see specific examples of serious ones?
One of which was it was like almost like a docking system for your iPad, right? Where essentially you've got a keyboard that's just got like a little docking system thing in the top of it, so that your iPad clips into that, and you can use your keyboard with your iPad.
Oh, right, in case your fingers are too fat for the actual one.
Yeah, stuff like that. And because, if you wanted to type something, it's much easier to do that with a keyboard.
Oh, right, yeah, if you were using it as a tablet, yeah.
So there was things like that. I'm sure there were other things that I can't remember off the top of my head. But
I do remember hearing that scam Kickstarters have started getting found out as well. I remember reading about that.
What, people saying that they're going to make something that's not doing it?
Yeah, not really doing it. They're just trying to scam the money.
I always wondered like how it would be regulated before, because it is kind of just like you're just trusting in whoever it is that's saying that, like, yeah. Kickstarter's become this big thing because it's been like, reputable people that have said like, I made this game 20 years ago, whatever. If you fancy a remake, I'm planning on doing it.
Tim Schafer is the person you're referring.
I've tried not to name drop, but
okay. Is
so,
that because you can't remember his name?
Maybe. Found out. But as it's become popular and an easy way of people to try and source money, you're bound to get like people doing this for just the lulz and to try and steal some cash.
Yeah, or what if someone gets all the funding and it wasn't a scam? It's just they happen not to be very good, so the game turns out awful.
I mean, like I get why some people think it's a good idea. Why they're going, I want this to be made. So if I help and loads of people help put money in, it will get made, and I'll get this. That's
because a vast majority of people are extremely naive.
But then you've got that whole situation where, as you're saying, there's people that are scamming folk. You're talking about, we'll give you this money, but how long till the game actually comes out? I don't want to pay for something now and wait 3 years for development for a piece of software to come out. It's just, I don't want anything that much.
So I should point out I wrote an article about Kickstarters, so I'd rather not repeat myself, so go read it on Critical Gamer if you want. Didn't really get a lot of publicity because I think my editor disagreed with me too much. So I'm throwing it out there. There you go.
Fight.
Did you disagree or agree with what I was saying in general?
In general, yeah.
In general.
I wasn't, like, your examples of the type of people felt they could have been embellished a little bit more, but then obviously you've got a word limit, etc. So
yes, and also I'd rather not embellish. I'm trying to be factual.
No, not embellish, but they could have been fleshed out more.
You can take assumptions only so far. The thing
no, I can take them as far as I fucking like.
The thing I thought you were going to segue into there was something that Notch tweeted about an hour ago.
No,
you never saw that. I'm not saying that
I haven't checked Twitter today.
I'm not saying he was directly referencing anything to do with any Kickstarter in general, but I found it funny because of that reason. He said, he's quoting someone who said this to him, "Hi Notch." Well, paraphrasing, "Hi Notch, if you help us make our Minecraft clone successful, we'll give you 1.25% of the profits."
Okay.
Oh, and I couldn't help thinking that, maybe a certain rip-off game that's approached him for some backing rather than opposing.
Yes.
Who knows? He didn't go into any further detail. In fact, I'm going to double-check Twitter right now just to make sure. No, he did not. But yeah, he said it 1 hour ago now. Shall we move on?
Yeah, let's do. Please.
What should we go on to? I for once I saw something interesting on Kotaku.
It's not the turtles with the lightsabers, is it?
What?
Someone's made a movie of like turtles, like real turtles, where they've done that whole like they edit in all the effects and stuff, so the turtles are like Jedi and things having a fight. It's quite good.
I haven't heard of this, and I need to see it. So show me later.
I will.
No, I don't think they came up with this. I mean, it's probably something they took from somewhere. It was just posing a question or a scenario. Here's a dagger. Which franchise will you kill?
Right.
So if you had a dagger that could kill off any game franchise, which would
not a publisher, like as in the actual just.
No, not EA. Not
so you mean like if you didn't like Street Fighter or Call of Duty or
if you didn't want another Halo game, you could kill.
I don't think I've got any. The Sims. that was quite a 180 I did there.
Yeah. Oh, I don't really want to murder the Sims.
I just no. There's something about the Sims that I just don't like it. It's after you've like murdered people intentionally in the game a few times, you get bored of it.
Yeah, the whole point of the Sims is to simulate the life of someone, not to elaborate traps to murder the Sims you've created.
That's what I've been doing wrong.
Playing it like the guy from Saw would play it.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was doing before Saw came out. I was
got there first.
Getting that fix for myself
to trap hapless teenagers in.
The best one was putting people into the swimming pool and taking the ladder out.
And then for some reason they drown because they can't climb up.
Exactly.
Okay. To answer that question myself, if I wanted to be mean, I probably would say Call of Duty or something like that. One of those ones that just churns out 2 games a year that are identical.
I don't think it's...
The one...
I don't think that they're that bad. I really don't.
The one I would call a mercy killing would be Assassin's Creed. On the on the assumption that you could finish one and you knew it was the last one, and then I was stabbing you.
So it was a case of like you wanted it to be like a final sort of concluding point.
Yeah, I don't want it to turn into a cartoon from the 90s that just keeps on going until it's no longer popular and doesn't give an ending.
Like Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. Well, no, there was an ending. They stayed in that game forever and died.
Did really?
Well, that's how I assume it ends.
That's how most of your assumptions go. They stayed until they died.
Yeah, everybody died. Or like Jason the Wood Warriors, the aliens won. They all died as well. I hope I didn't think that when I was a kid. That may explain a few things.
Traumatized.
Traumatized myself with bleak outcomes to cartoons.
So what's next?
Yeah, well, am I picking something? Have you exhausted your list?
Maybe. But one thing, but you've got it on your list and we'll wait till we get to it.
I do? Oh, right, I do, yeah, okay. Have you heard about the Super Smash Brothers on PlayStation?
Oh, their Battle Royale thing, their equivalent or whatever it's called.
Yeah, worst game name ever. It's called PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale. Which is a terrible name, and it's also incredibly ironic given the characters that they've shown so far.
I'm sure I saw Parappa the Rapper.
Yes, you have. Can you name any others, or ones that you might think? They don't necessarily just need to be on PlayStation, because, Smash Brothers has Solid Snake. So.
Yeah.
So can you think of any other big names?
What, that I would expect to see, or that...
Yeah. So you've got...
Well, they're going to have Nathan Drake in there somewhere.
Yes, you're right. That's 2. Any other big names?
That's like their Master Chief. That's how they,
That's their exclusive guy. There's also Kratos from the
God of War, yeah.
Ratchet and Clank, Jack and Daxter, or Jackson. I can never remember if it's Jackson Daxter or Jack and Dexter.
It's a silly platformy game. I don't care.
Yeah, but they have other well-known PlayStation figureheads such as a Helghast soldier from the Killzone games, a random alien from the Resistance games, Fat Princess from Fat Princess, Sly Cooper from Sly Cooper.
These are terrible characters.
Well, they have a Sackboy from Little Big Planet.
That's not too bad.
That's not bad. And they have Cole from Infamous, which isn't too bad as well, I would say. But yeah, it's just some of them, they aren't all stars. Oh, and Sweet Tooth was another one from Twisted Metal.
They're not. These aren't all stars. They're like the
B characters.
D-list characters.
PlayStation's all B-star battle royale.
I mean, you imagine if this was like an Xbox exclusive game, right? It would have, Marcus Phoenix. It would have Master Chief.
Probably Batman, maybe, assuming PlayStation didn't get. Right, so I don't know. It depends because there's lots of characters who could be on both.
True.
And they haven't copied it enough. I think because I think Smash Brothers is quite fun, but they seem to be trying to make it all gimmicky, which I don't like. And also, they showed off a few stages in the screenshots they've released, and it looked like the stages in the backgrounds were just the Who or other Sony games. So, like one of them was just you were in a giant Buzz, those Buzz games.
Yeah.
You were in one of the sets of that. It's like, come on,
Free advertising within games.
Exactly. Don't be that desperate, Sony.
Don't be that guy. Nobody likes that guy.
Nobody likes that hooring guy. That was a bit of silence there.
I was thinking about the Naked Rambler.
I was thinking about CR alone in his room playing with two ponies. Clop, clop, clop.
Derp, 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 derp,
derp. The Minecraft on 360 is out.
I've got the image of CR now playing with ponies. It's not right.
It's not right. We should tell him to stop it.
You're
We'll
a
help
bad
him.
man.
Have an intervention.
I think that's what he needs.
A pony intervention.
Interversion?
Diversion. As I was saying, the Minecraft on 360 is coming out in a week, or just under a week, actually.
I mean, it's been a long time coming since they first announced that.
And it unfortunately gave a clone time to get out there and get on it first.
Yep.
But at least the legitimate one is coming, so I think then it'll do well, I would assume.
And it has Kinect support as well.
Does it?
Yeah.
You can come home from your day job and then spend your evening like you were working in a mine.
Just what you always wanted.
To do that. Why would you want to pretend to be a Welsh person from the 80s?
Instead, you could come home, get changed, then go back out and work in a mine.
Yeah, then at least that way you're earning money.
And feeling the immersion.
Oh, we've reached another horrible point in the podcast where I remember that there was something else we played and I can't mention it at all. Both of us didn't mention it.
What is it?
Third Team Fortress 2 night. How did we not mention that?
I did say Team Fortress at the start, but I didn't say anything about Team Fortress 2 night.
Well, I wish you had, because I took time and effort, editing effort, might I add, to put together 5 minutes of gold.
You actually had to edit something for the first time ever.
I edited 2.5 hours worth of audio down to 5 minutes.
Now you know how I feel when I edit the podcast.
So I would just like to mention that we probably will have another TF2 night this Friday or Saturday, say, probably, because those seem to be the Friday night. I would say is probably our best bet.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
So I'm just saying we had a lot of fun. It got a bit too bromancy this time.
The videos will tell it all.
I couldn't post that match. I didn't want to. It was just
there's definitely a bit of a candle going between Roku and Noodles.
Yeah. There's a point where bromance becomes unsuitable for YouTube, and I think that line was crossed. So that match went in the bin.
And we had to listen to it.
We did. So what I'm saying is I have 5 minutes, and I don't know if you'll put the full 5 minutes in. It's up to you because you're the editor. But at this point here, you're going to hear some highlights from our Team Fortress tonight. And if you want in on it, join our Steam group.
Exactly. Or, email us at braingohurty@gmail.com and, we'll give you the scoop-em when we're next playing, etc.
The scoop-em. You're just making up words tonight.
Yes, scoop-em.
Well, seeing as I get auto bans most of the time anyway, I might as well just go on the losing team or whatever. It's fine. I'll suck by myself.
Did you get to rephrase that statement?
You don't have much choice.
I probably should.
Here.
Oh.
You'd need to get an operation to have your ribs removed to do that.
Oh god, wasn't there some rock star who did that? I'm pretty sure that's true.
There's
I don't know.
a rumor that Marilyn Manson did it.
Mm.
Let's be honest though, you would, wouldn't you?
That's a spy there. Oh wait, no, it's not. He's dead.
How are your videos doing these days, yeah?
I are
Other
back.
than the Reddit one.
Other than the fucking Dark Souls one.
Oh, that is a spy. I knew it was. Nobody listened to me.
We're in a server, Stephen. Get your ass in here.
Along with the rest of you, ideally, unless you're...
Oh, no, that was stupid. Ah, my sentry. No.
Well, you could probably play Pyro with your ass.
Yeah, steering wheel with your bike on the handlebars.
I can understand sort of firing because you can stick the mouse up your ass, but how would you move around?
Wait. How would that work if it was up your ass? I mean, what, would you have to, like, clench?
Oh,
I have absolutely no idea what you're talking about.
neither do I.
Classes which can be controlled via your ass.
Yeah, Pyre is probably that one. Why the hell are they there? How did they get there? I don't understand.
Are you talking about your feet again?
What?
Your feet, they're the things below your legs.
I have
What you
legs.
used to walk.
I didn't
They are
realize I could
sometimes
see anything beneath my fat rolls.
Charming.
Ow.
You
I
don't
can't put you
try.
out, Fred, so you might
Yeah,
want
because
to burn to death. I don't know.
Hey, stop! For fuck's sake!
I didn't actually mean that. I wanted the ammo.
So, not only could you not put me out because you're using cheaty gun, but then you stole the health kit when you clearly didn't need it.
I was helping Ciara. He's on our team.
I am helping Jackie Chan. I feel good about myself.
Empowered.
Oh god, no. This isn't how it's supposed to end. Oh.
We're not talking about Mass Effect 3 again.
Oh, topical.
I thought.
Well,
oh,
for
not really. Not really.
Last week.
It's been several. Wait, how many months? It's been months, hasn't it?
It won't die.
But you know that every time we bring out a new podcast, he's going to...
hello.
Yep, it's going to be about Mass Effect 3, of course.
Oh, poor happy boy.
Lots of things are beeping. Lots
Oh,
of
fuck
beeps.
off.
Oh my god! No! you monster! All that hard work.
I blew it up.
No!
I got the sentry kill in the end.
Oh. Truly, I hate you.
Yay.
My hate knows no bounds. Please,
Oh, right.
save,
I didn't really
save my teleporters. No. No.
I saved them from being recycled.
No. Oh, my babies. My poor babies.
Ew. Wonder why they were wet.
They were fresh.
That's horrible looking.
I don't even want to know.
Flick noob.
Bullshit. You can't ground Spider-Man.
Oh, I made someone angry.
Oh.
I don't like provoking trolls. I prefer to just wish death upon them. As violent and sexually aggressive as possible.
Sexually aggressive.
It's a very odd adjective to use when describing that.
You're not sitting there stroking your cock while you do it.
Man, I feel so
I'm not
good about
playing
myself.
pyro anymore, so no.
I feel so good about myself. I'm going to stroke myself.
No, I mean, if you can hear yourself, because I'm using the laptop speakers instead of headphones.
So
now.
how does it feel, Flick, to look into the eye of destiny?
Are you trying to say that I'm a Time Lord and when I die I'm going to regenerate as
As
David
a
Tennant's
beaver.
face on a beaver?
Yeah.
Excuse me, I need to look for a mouse pad.
Not all Scottish people regenerate into David Tennant. You're aware of that.
The master.
I'm glad that I found that.
I'm not.
Zing, 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 bah.
Yeah, wasn't that amazing? That thing that we just heard again. For real.
For reals is.
For realsies, we just heard.
There aren't really any words to describe some of that audio, though.
Well, what we have learned is that Noodles is racist, and that everyone should be mean to him.
That's not.
He said all Scottish people regenerate into
David Tennant. Oh, it's such a weird looking thing, that GIF. Just
Not
weird.
as bad as, the stuff CR posts and him and his ponies. I mean, there's things that should not be seen. But if you do want to see one, there was one at the end of the video I uploaded of the TF tonight.
Unfortunately, there is.
Yeah, that was CR's. I'm seriously wondering how long we can carry this before he actually gets really pissed off at us for doing it.
At least you'll know if you listen to the podcast or not.
That is an excellent way to test that.
Blackmail him into it with insulting behaviour.
I have some good news. Nintendo has posted their first annual loss in the financial year that just ended last month.
That's not very nice.
They're not a very nice. Well, actually, okay, they're the Disney company. They're very nice on the outside, but they're. Ugh.
You mean they're like closet Nazis on the inside?
No, I was not saying that Nintendo are closet Nazis, and nor was I insinuating it, Mr. Lawyer. Please don't sue. They lost $455.9 million, or that was their operating loss, I should say, not their actual.
I was going to say, where would you actually lose that? I mean, you'd need a giant couch.
You would. So no, it's operating loss. So it's just, I would assume, all the manufacturing and thing. But the point is, nobody's buying the 3DS.
It's because it's poo.
And earlier on, Miyamoto was dissing the PSV for similar reasons.
I did read something about that, and he was basically slagging it off for exactly the same things that were wrong with the 3DS.
I got in a bit of a annoyance about it on Twitter. He was saying the reason the 3DS failed at launch, he kind of admitted it didn't do as well as they hoped, because obviously they can't deny it.
No.
It's only because Super Mario World, Mario Kart 7 and Kid Icarus weren't out at launch.
But then they should have just waited.
They should have. And I think he's right in the sense that had they been out at launch, it probably would have sold better in the short term.
Nobody buys a console when there's no decent games to play on said console.
Yeah, that's the reason I don't have a PSV. I'm kind of with him there. I only had one game I'd want to play, and I'm not that into Uncharted games, so I'm not bothered whether I play it or not.
Exactly.
Please have a can opening. Thank you.
Resume wetting yourself.
Resume wetting yourself. The can is now opened. I'm going to take a sip of it, but I will cover it. Isn't that lovely? When I said cover it, I kind of meant you could jump in now.
Yeah, I'm just sitting here thinking I could really go for a whiz.
You're not going for a whiz. We're going.
I should just like keep rolling and just go for a whiz.
While you pee?
Yeah.
Are you being serious right now?
I'll just like shout to you from the toilet. No, it's fine. Keep going.
Okay. I have a very tiny random bit of news that Bayonetta 2 has been canned by Sega.
Never really played the first one.
It was critically acclaimed. I didn't like the character, so that's why I never got it. You were just playing a Hoor version of Quistis Trip from Final Fantasy VIII.
Oh.
You know?
Oh.
Didn't do anything for me, but apparently the gameplay was very good.
Isn't it like the same sort of gameplay as like Devil May Cry?
Yeah, it was made by the guy who made the original Devil May Cry.
Oh.
That's why it wasn't just a little bit like it.
It was just the same, but with a woman.
Yeah, a Hoor. You were playing as a slut, and it had like copious amounts of breasts and whatnot. It was desperate, I thought, which is why I did try. I tried the demo, but no, didn't appeal to me.
Nope. All right.
So apparently, it didn't appeal to enough people either because they don't have the funding to carry on with the sequel.
Well, that's good. If it's shit, don't make another one.
You say that, and yet Call of Duty Black Ops 2, which I know nothing about, by the way. I haven't watched any of the trailers. I just know it exists, and I don't really want to know anything else about it. CR told me earlier it has horses in it, which is totally true, and I wonder why. Raise eyebrow. I mean, he's probably going to buy it now.
Just because of the horses?
Yeah, just because of the horses. He is sick.
I don't like the idea that they're calling it Black Ops 2, but I like that they are now taking it into a slightly different direction, ever so slightly, in terms of the storyline concept thing.
Semi-futuristic or something.
Semi-futuristic.
Like the cow robots from Metal Gear Solid in it, I think.
Yeah.
That's very original.
It might be fun. I didn't buy Modern Warfare 3, but it's been a while since I've played a FPS other than TF2 for...
You would have to get me drunk out my mind to convince me to buy that to play it with you. Just saying.
It might be fun. You never know.
No.
Totally.
Played a couple, and that's all I need to play because they're all identical.
Fair enough.
What else do we have here? We have an example of the masses getting angry at someone and forcing them to retract a statement. It's not Notch for once, although he might retract what he said earlier, depending on if he actually directly links who I thought he was talking about. But did you hear that the person who wrote the first Dead Space game criticised the Gears of War games as literally having the worst writing ever?
No, I did not.
Well, that's what he said in an interview, and he later retracted his comment when the internet got all in a steam about it, because he's not allowed to have the opinion that the Gears of War games are badly written, which they are.
Everybody got a lot of sand in their vagina.
They did. Now, they're good games. The first one is a good game, the third one was alright, second one wasn't. They're good games, but that doesn't mean they have good stories, or that they have good writing, and they don't. They have stereotypical bromance Machu Picchu characters.
Cheapachu.
And the plot was easy to guess. They had plot holes. They had things that just kind of fell on the wayside.
Yep.
They had stuff that appeared out of nowhere, like all of a sudden it rains glass. I mean, what the fuck is that? And it's like they just say, "Oh, it's Razor Hill. It's about to rain glass." And you're.
I guess that's kind of like your Deus Ex Machina, really, isn't it? It's just like to progress some sort of plot point for a particular map. Let's do something.
Can I have an explanation for the raining glass place? Oh, there were satellites and they got blown up. Okay, that happened a while ago. Why is it still raining glass?
I don't think it's glass. It's hail.
Why is it razor sharp?
Because wizards and scientists got together.
Oh, the whole shit with the sires and sorry, I'm getting into a very. My point is, there's justification for the writing in the Gears games being absolutely awful.
Yes, I agree.
It is not the strong point of them. It does have strong points, but the story is not one of them. So
it could have been so much better as well.
And it's a great shame that the person didn't stick to their guns, because he is allowed to have his opinion. Even if it's a wrong opinion, he's allowed to have it. And yet the internet badgered him into retracting, and that got on my nerves.
That will just continue to get worse as well.
What, giving into internet peer pressure?
Yes.
Well, Notch does it all the time, actually, when he states an opinion and gets annoyed at the...
I'm meaning something slightly more serious than that. I mean, take your ever so fond subject of Mass Effect 3, right? They didn't plan to release alternative endings. It was only because of the furor that kicked up on the internet that they did that.
No, they're not releasing an alternative ending.
All right, okay, right. Let's get all pedantic about it.
No, it's not pedantic, because that's the whole point. They're not. They're just extending the ending that's there, which was their...
They had no intention of doing that then. Until
yes, they did. Yes, I'm sorry, but you're wrong, because that screen flashes up saying, "Don't worry, DLC is on the way." Or if you want me to quote it exactly, it says, "So you can continue the legacy," and which is exactly what they're doing. They've just worded it in a different way to trick people.
And try to make people thinking that they've changed the ending to satisfy it.
Falling for it, and shame on you.
You're Batman.
I hope right now you're loading a shotgun. I'll talk you out of it later, but you can carry on loading it for now.
Yeah, I'm coming around your house.
I see what you did there. So what were we talking about?
You didn't hear was the fact that when I laughed, I let out a little bit of a fart. And then I got a strange look because somebody else did hear the fart.
I'm so glad that your cat had a disapproving note?
Who said it was
expression? Well, I was kind of hoping it was the cat, really, because...
No, it wasn't the cat.
Okay, let's start getting... I know you've got that one main topic I've got, so let me just get through my quick...
Wall of text!
Oh, have you got a wall of text ready for it? Excellent.
Oh, well, okay.
Have you looked into the new Bethesda game Dishonored?
No, there are some things that I look at and I just go, I'm not going to bother reading any more about that.
It's kind of like Bioshock meets Assassin's Creed, and it's not doing anything for me right now. I'll wait until I get some real gameplay, not CG cutscenes.
Not tickling your fancy?
No, because like I say, I think they're just ripping off two popular things so far, based on the CG I watched. But, yeah. And maybe throw in a bit of The Witcher as well.
It might work. You never know.
Yeah, it's a Bethesda game. Well, actually, no. You know, saying that it becomes less and less potent as the years go on, because they've been making some shit amongst all the good stuff.
True.
Because say 5 years ago, you could say, but it's a Bethesda game, and that meant, well, it has to be good. It has to be, because it's a Bethesda game. But now those words don't have as much meaning as they once did. And their
core titles were still...
It's even worse for BioWare, but you know, that whole chestnut.
Let's not go down that road.
Let's not. Let me see. I have decided I won't be buying Max Payne 3 for definite now. Yeah, because they've announced the good news that they're doing a season pass DLC mod. So good news, everybody. We've held back stuff, and we're going to charge you all over again. But don't worry, you can get it slightly cheaper if you buy it all in advance.
Bastards. Yeah, I'll skip that too.
Yeah, and it says the co-op mode and map packs. So,
That's what's been held back, the co-op mode.
Yeah.
That's God, right? Yeah. If the co-op mode was still in it, then I would seriously have considered it and tried to,
it's
fully.
a co-op kind of horde thing. It's not.
Oh right, okay.
It's not. It's not a single like a campaign. No.
Why the fuck do they do that?
Because they want to make money, and it's a Rockstar game, and they know it will sell, even if they are being slightly greedy.
Bad people.
But it's not going to sell to me. So there you go. Two more quick things, and then I think we're on to the big topic.
Okay.
Just actually, this is a public service announcement for people who are listening to this.
Attention. Wang.
Like usually, if we get a good review, we like mentioning it, and to give the person a shout out. So I just wanted to point out we can only see the UK version of the store unless we go and set it to another country, etc. So if you live outside the UK and you do give us a nice review, email us and let us know, and we'll give you a shout out.
Yeah, that's a good point actually, because I'm not going to go and change mine to Uzbekistan every other day to check if we've had a review from there.
Oh, the people in what did you say? Uzbekistan.
Uzbekistan.
No,
Uzbekistan.
They go mad for Brain Go Hurty. They just can't get enough of it. I mean, if we go there, we're like superheroes.
Worshipped as gods.
Worshipped as gods until you tip that cow, and then we had to flee.
I wish you wouldn't bring that up.
I know. On the subject of superpowers,
what the fuck is going on?
On purpose, and
I feel like I'm like a record skipping a little bit. It's like I'm drifting in and out. Like I know, like I have had something to drink, right?
Oh God!
I don't know specifically what was in it. It was made for me, not by me. I know there's alcohol in it, but like I don't think I've had that much. But it really does feel like we're sort of skipping forward a little bit here. Like you're missing sentences out, or I'm just blanking out. It's quite concerning.
Vicky, make it for you.
Yes.
There's a very real danger that it had roofies in it.
Oh. She does want me for my body, yeah.
Oh, clearly, yeah.
Yeah.
On the subject of superpowers, can I get back to my segue? Thank you. There's going to be another set of DLC that wasn't announced for Saints Row 3 in which they get abducted by aliens and are put into an alternative reality version of the site in which they have superpowers.
That sounds like fun.
It does. It also sounds batshit crazy.
Which is fun.
It might be. I was interested when I read it. I mean, it's kind of losing all pretense of being a semi-serious thing, but I guess that game does that anyway.
I think it's definitely going that way, and I think that's.
Did you feel that was happening when we were chasing that giant naked guy last time?
Oh, don't remind me. You watched it. You can't unwatch it. Mm. I think we do definitely need, like, at some point to sort of get back into playing that, and hopefully this weekend maybe we can.
Waiting for you to upload the footage of it you got of us playing it last time.
Yes, render times, etc. Yeah. Working secret project, etc.
Oh, your secret projects. How's that going?
Quite well.
Quite well. Hang on.
Yeah, learning bits and pieces to do with it. So the learning curve was quite steep. I think I've sort of overcome a lot of that now. So now it's a case of just getting the time to get on with it.
Yeah, there's a reason why people who take on similar things take months. Put it that way.
Yes, exactly. There's a good reason why there's not like brilliant versions of this like left, right, and center. You can't find like hundreds of them because it's a lot of time and effort.
So before we move on to our very final topic, have we had any emails this time?
No, we've had absolutely nothing this time.
See, I think you've made a mistake letting Noodles in closer because it's like you should only let a stalker get so close. So now I think we're in trouble.
How close is too close? When his breath is fogging up the glass outside my window, is that close enough?
I would say that's a smidge too
Noodles,
close.
Get the fuck out of my garden.
And pull your pants up for God's sake. I'm sorry, but that's what you get for acting that way during Team Fortress nights.
He's now branded as a sex fiend.
Yeah, one of the sexually aggressive ones I was on about when we were doing one of the matches.
I do think it was good that we had him on the last time. I think like having Noodles in for a little bit was a bit fun. It was nice to
especially when he's had a drink.
It was nice that he has been with us for quite a long time. So
yes.
Good for us to let him have a little spotlight. So
especially since he's a raging alcoholic.
I think if if things do take off where more people get in touch and hey, maybe somebody out there does want to get in for a little guest spot on the show, let's call it a show.
Is that like when you offered CR but then we decided against it because he's into his ponies? See, my whole goal of this podcast is to just besmirch the names of people who we know.
You know exactly what this is going to get titled now.
Besmirching friends and influencing people. That's the title of a book right there. So let's move on to the final topic.
Friends and influencing people.
I don't have friends. I have enemies who don't know what they are yet.
Oh. Hey.
So what's our final topic? Come on. Last thing on your notes. What is it? Come on.
Q5, have I said that right? Q5?
Q5? Name of the bundle.
Z2?
Are you reading letters instead of words?
Maybe.
Can you read the whole word rather than just the individual letters which make it up?
Well, I'm just going with E3, but obviously you're thinking of something else.
Oh. I thought you were going with EA and indie bundles.
No, I was just going to say that EA's coming up, and it reminded me that...
No, E3, you just said EA.
Oh, God damn it!
How much have you drunk? God.
No, I don't know. This is the thing, I didn't make the drink. I don't know how much was in it.
Oh, okay, well, let's just assume it was a lot. So let's talk about E3 then, and then we'll go back to the indie game debacle.
Well, we don't know an awful lot about what's happening at E3. Microsoft are saying that they've got like a 17-hour stream or something going. Have a big massive this is going to be their biggest thing yet, so I would love to know what they plan to release in all of that Fura, not Mein Fura,
Furora, not Fura.
That's how I pronounce it, that's the right way. But
the Germans,
it reminded me that we are now approaching 1 year of doing the podcast.
Oh, that's what you wanted to bring up, the 1 year anniversary. Oh,
isn't that sweet? And it will be the next one will be the 1 year anniversary one, I think.
I kind of regret making up vicious rumours about people who know us now.
So yeah, E3 coming soon. So you expect an E3 special one where you'll probably be doing your usual where you sit up all night and
yeah, every year for Critical Gamer I stay up and watch every conference live and do a very quick post about it.
I imagine you'll probably spam Twitter throughout it as well with some of the highlights of that.
Well, I've only got so big a screen, so like one half of it is the stream, the other half is my notes I write as I watch it. So it's all like I'm technically doing it live, and then I just
right
spelling mistakes before posting. So it's very rough and ready.
So yeah, it should be interesting. We'll have like another big E3 special podcast.
And I've been making quite a few E3 predictions in these past few podcasts, and I think I'll be proven right for quite a few of them. The biggest being Half-Life 3 or Episode 3, however they want to call it, it'll be at E3. I'd put money on it.
Even though that they've said that they're not planning on announcing anything at E3.
And they've also said they're not building a console while also hiring people to work on a console, so you can't really trust everything Valve says.
But it's not I get that, but I don't definitely buy it because they do an awful lot of R&D. There was a topic at one point about a guy that was working there where they were looking into like technology you can wear.
Or wearable tech, yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah, so like kind of like the whole like having glasses that had like the screen built into them and things like that, but also in the line of like your shirt that's got like the electronics and stuff built into it and things. So maybe it was just R&D folk that they were maybe considering it, but not actually really looking into making one. You
were alluding to Valve time there, weren't you? That sort of term that everybody has for how long they actually take. You've reminded me. I found a screenshot.
They have
Valve time.
Yes, they have a special thing that they know of as Valve time, where they say this is when we plan to release something. This is kind of what we changed it to. This is when it was actually released. So they know that they fuck around.
Do you like a couple of examples?
Yeah, go for it.
They said that Team Fortress 2 would be released soon in 1998. And then they guessed around about 2005. And then it was actually released at the end of 2007.
Yep.
This must be a joke one. I don't know if this is made by them, but they've got one for Half-Life Episode 3 where it says they first announced, or they first planned it for the Christmas of 2007. And then for the actual time, they've got coincide with Rapture. So there you go. And it's got the way they word things. If they say in coming weeks, it means 5 months to 4 years. And that was for the various class achievements for Team Fortress.
Yeah, some of the gaps between those were very, very big.
Yeah. In fact, for one, it says today, and what they actually meant was 11:49 p.m. that day. Honestly. So, yeah, you were talking about E3. We went on to that.
You were going to talk about EA being a bastard again.
I have 2 examples of them being bastards.
Steadily overtaking Capcom and their bears. The bears are being rather silent right now.
Well, that's because they're trying to, they're kind of wishing people would buy Capcom Street Fighter X Tekken. And they're not.
Maybe if they sold like honey with it, some of that Manuka honey.
Ka-ching! I'm going to buy shares in their company so I can actually say ka-ching and mean it. So the first thing was the Rock Band app available for iPhones and things. People got a shutdown message saying this app will no longer be functioning come the end of May. And in the terms, it does actually say that. So, but then people got annoyed about it because it was still for sale. So someone could feasibly buy it on the 30th and it'd be done by the 31st. So they backtracked totally and said, oh, no, that was a mistake. And they edited out the bit in the terms that said that. And they got caught doing that. So EA are bastards.
Yeah.
This links into their indie bundle, which is not an indie bundle because it's being published by EA.
It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. It's like...
Because they're trying to prey on the word indie and what it means. People will think, I'm supporting a bunch of small-time developers, and maybe they'll grow big and make really decent games.
No.
They're not. It's kind of the same on the Xbox, actually. And like when Notch heard about all this, he said, that is not an indie game. I don't even consider my company to be indie anymore because we've grown too big.
Exactly, yeah.
Without being boastful, it's very obvious he is no longer running an indie company.
No, because he doesn't even really have any active control in Minecraft so much these days. It's all been delegated away to somebody else.
Did it over to work on Scrolls and his sci-fi thing he's working on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you know that Microsoft are planning on releasing an Xbox that you pay a very small amount for the hardware, and then it's a subscription model for the rest of it. Like if you're buying a car, you put a deposit down, and then you pay in installments for the next 48 months.
Bumpers as a month's gone, and then after a year, like you used to do in magazines,
you've got to wait 6 months before you got all 4 wheels, and you get that point where you've got 3, and you're sort of just getting by. Wait for that 4th wheel.
I used to collect so many magazines like that when I was a kid, and they always got you because halfway through the issues, they always increased the fucking price. Well, that's how they get
you. Them, the first episode's 99p, and then it jumps up to £6 or whatever.
Exactly. And I don't mind a small increase because it's the first issue, but no, they ramp it up.
Yeah.
You may hear a woman screaming. I'm not sure what's going on, but it's not me.
You're not sure what's going on? There's a woman screaming.
The window's open, so it could be anything.
You haven't just left your basement door open?
Oh, I hope not, because there's a guy screaming as well. No, it's probably fine. I mean, it's background noise of Scotland.
It's probably fine.
It's probably fine. Probably. I'll check afterwards.
You did remember to leave them like at the sword and the gun this time to give them 2 options, right?
Yes.
Right. Good. Right. Anyway.
I think that about wraps it up, really. I did want to talk a bit more about, the dilution of the word indie, but I think it's obvious that it's now being used as a buzzword. People should just look out for it and really look into something claiming to be indie to see if it's true or not.
The same as if you see anything that says BioWare on it.
Yes, or EA, Capcom, Nintendo, Ubisoft, Microsoft.
But we're basically trying to say you should all be cynical bastards just like us.
Yes, or at least be a bit more realistic and less bloody optimistic. I mean, God, Kickstarter's had $20 million now. $20 million.
Breathe.
That's not okay.
Just calm down. So, if you want to check out any of the videos and stuff, Flick FFXI for him, Blighty Warrior for me. I'm not sure really what's going up anytime soon, but expect Diablo at some point on the horizon.
Yes, I'm looking forward.
You can also reach the Steam group, Brain Go Hurty. We'll be putting TF2 gaming nights and stuff up on there. Everybody gets on Skype, has a few drinks, makes some suggestive sexual comments.
Tries to convince us that ponies are good, but we just keep on telling him he's Irish and to shut up.
And you can also, email comments, questions, anything that you think is interesting we should cover, or maybe you want to, join in. Maybe you want to come and join us for an evening of random banter.
If you do want to, just send an invite to one of us or CR as well. We're all three of us are mods of the group.
Yeah. So braingohurty@gmail.com if you want to email us.
So I guess I should probably go apologise to CR Noodles now.
And let that man out of your basement. And I'm going to let another man out of my basement. And by that I mean I'm going to the toilet.
Terrific.